Weight gain and stress. What is the connection between them? Hi guys, Charian Kapania, founder of Ytalife. And you know how we are at Ytalife, right? We try to find these researches as much as possible and then bring out the truth about health, nutrition and well-being so that all of us can live a much better life, right? So when we look at obesity or fat loss, let's say, when you're trying to lose weight, we try to narrow it down to a linear approach where it's only about the calories. That's what generally people do. Now, it's not their fault, it's just how the system works, thinking that it's about the energy output versus the energy input. Now, studies have already proven that it's not that. There are so many other factors at play, such as how you sleep, your stress levels, the kind of food that you're eating, are you happy in life? So many aspects of health and wellness is all related to how healthy you stay. So it's not just about the food. Right, so now I'm going to talk to you guys about how stress and the stress hormone cortisol can potentially affect obesity. But right before that, I'm just going to explain something called leptin. Now, leptin is a hormone. Essentially, leptin sends signals to your hypothalamus in the brain telling you that you're full or to stop eating, or this is enough, not to eat more. So it's very important that we are sensitive to the leptin that our bodies produce. Now, in 1997, a Swiss research team led by a researcher called Katharina Zerksweska, pretty cool name, right? I think I pronounced it correctly. Right, so Katharina and her team, what they did was they started injecting cortisol, the stress hormone, into rats, and what they found was that the leptin is the hormone that tells you that you're full or not to eat more. They found that when you inject cortisol into the mice or the rats, the leptin sensitivity starts going down, which means that your tendency to overeat is much higher. Of course, not you, I mean the rats. But this can apply to us as well. Let's take a look at another set of studies done on rhesus monkeys. So these rhesus monkeys, right, if you put them in an enclosed area, they immediately group up. Some of them become very dominant, some of them become submissive. And there's a lot of harassment going on among the rhesus monkeys. The dominant monkeys apparently keeps harassing the submissive ones to make sure that they stay in line. So that's a lot of stress that keeps building up inside them, the submissive ones, because of how their social hierarchy works. So the researchers, what they did was they offered high sugar and high fat, those kind of foods that make you feel wow, yum, 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 foods to these monkeys. At the same time, they also offered high fiber, healthy foods. Naturally, all the monkeys preferred the high fat, high sugar foods. No kidding. But what they found was that the dominant monkeys, they ate about the same amount that they would usually eat when they were given food. The stressed monkeys, on the other hand, ate much more. Their overeating tendency was higher, the overall calorie intake was also much higher. The stressed monkeys actually ate almost double their general calorie intake. So you can see how stress impacted the way they eat, their cravings, and the total amount of food they eat, the volume. Now let me ask you this, have you ever felt like eating sugary foods the moment you feel stressed or you had a long day of work which is pretty harsh, you feel like coming back and having a nice, some food that you're craving for, something to drink maybe. So why is it that we have this connection to comforting foods when we feel stressed? I'll be talking about that on another video. But for now, you need to understand that stress management is very important, both physiological and psychological, when it comes to losing weight and staying healthy. Chronic stress, whether it's from your mind, see, I'll tell you another example with the pandemic and all. When you think about the disease, right, you could start feeling fear or worried thinking about the disease even if you didn't get it. Am I right? You can even think about an exam that's about to come, it hasn't happened yet. You could be afraid of the exam, whether you would fail or whether you'd be able to pass. So that fear generates a lot of stress in your body, although the exam hasn't happened yet, right? So this is pretty powerful. So your mind can actually induce the state in your body, and this can lead to elevated levels of cortisol, which is your stress hormones. Now, chronic stress is very bad for your sleep, for your overall health in general. In terms of obesity, we tend to eat more comforting foods which are generally unhealthy when we are stressed. So actively managing this stress is very important. Why active management? See, at times it's difficult to avoid certain stressors. Exams. All the kids and all schools have exams, colleges have exams. Then there's the work life. Not everyone's work is going to be perfect, obviously. And we all have our own stresses at home with the people we mingle with. Now, this is all fine. This is all part of life. The question is, how actively are we able to manage these stressors, right? So this is why meditation, active breath work, and many other important forms of biohacks in your daily lives are very important, so you can prevent unnecessary diseases and reduce your overall stress. So the next time you feel stressed and you feel like eating some foods, understand how this is working in your head. Your leptin sensitivity is going down because of the cortisol, so try to push in a little bit more and avoid giving in to your hardwired program in the brain. Alright? As always, guys, stay informed, stay aware, and stay healthy. That's how we roll at Ytalife, so that we can live a life without limitations.